Welcome to Market Movers. I'm Jim Urio, and we are days away from the March Fed meeting. Today we're looking at using 10-year options, the weeklies, ahead of the March 14th, 15th FOMC. Joining me is Chief Investment Officer of Kingsview Asset Management, Scott Martin.
Hi, Jim.
The futures are pricing an 88 to 90% chance of a Fed hike. Are they going to hike?
88% chance sounds like a pretty done deal, doesn't it? What's going to be interesting, though, is the following. How does the market react to this better than expected economic data? And what does the market do in the face of what I think is going to be an FOMC rate
I'll say
hike?
this to put a finer point on it, too, is that this Fed promised to be the most transparent. If they've let the markets believe there's an 88% chance that they're going to do it,
it makes a case, are they being too transparent? Remember back in the day when the Fed was actually nicely kind of discreet? That made the market guess somewhat, but it also made trades not exactly be front run.
One more thing before we get into the trades. The ADP number was blockbuster. We have NFP tomorrow. Is it going to be blockbuster as well? Does it matter?
It does matter to some degree in the sense of how strong or how weak it is, but I think anything over 250K, which is what my prediction is, Jim, leads the way for the Fed rate hike next week.
You know kind of what I think, and that's if it's not so great, it reflects old macroeconomic
That
ideology.
argument, though, is getting rather tired, isn't it, my friend?
Now, before we dive into our trade discussion, I'd like to point out that as with all market movers, it's important to view these trades as examples that allow you to see different ways to use futures and options products to manage risk or create additional trade opportunities, not as trade recommendations. Prices and movements will vary in the markets. When we're pricing these two trades out, both have the June 10-year underlying. It's trading at about 122.24 at the moment.
So you brought up something interesting, transparency. And so when I look at the ZN today, I feel like most of, if not everything, is baked in the sense of the rate hike and in the sense of stronger than expected economic data in the recent weeks and maybe going forward. So I'm looking at the ZN approaching maybe the bottom end of this range that it's established effectively post-election, Jim. So specifically, I'm looking at buying the week 3 March call spread. This is the 124.5. It's very cheap. It's going to cost you about 3 ticks or $50 to make a potential 450 because I believe this excitement with respect to the data and the FOMC is a little overdone to the sense of how we've seen rates react.
Okay, to see prices move that high so quickly, are you also expecting a plunge in the stock market?
It could come with the stock market event, and that's a great point to bring up. This is a call spread that you could manage as well. I'm not saying we have to hold it to get that 450 max reward, but this is one that you can get, I think, relatively inexpensively and manage it and maybe get a little profit out of it.
I am a little rosier in my outlook, and I think rates are going higher because I think optimism is back. So I'm looking at buying the week 3. Again, it goes off March 17th, 2 days after the meeting, the 122.5, 122 put spread for 10 ticks. This risks 156 to make 343. Again, it's predicated on breaking out of the range that we've established since days after the election. We've been trading somewhat sideways.
Looking at good levels in the market, and again, taking to some degree what we talk about a lot these days, which is what the market gives you. And if it gives you an appropriate risk-reward as far as the trade expression goes, I'm all for it.
I'm amazed that we can look at the Fed and think that every time they tell us they're going to tighten 3 times, that used to spook the stock market. Now it doesn't spook it at all. So this is pretty amazing to me, I think. Thanks for joining us in this special edition of Market Movers. I'm Jim Urio, where we're helping to make you a better trader.